All right, let's talk about wearing all the gear all the time. What I'm wearing right now is what I normally wear when I ride, give or take a different jacket or a different helmet. This is the stuff I wear. The reason I bring it up is over the summertime, I've noticed a lot of riders wearing not very much in the sense of any kind of safety clothing whatsoever, including gloves. I've seen some riders, and I'm not kidding, like, you can't make this stuff up, wearing shorts, running shoes, t-shirts, and no gloves, but a helmet. Now, what I wonder is, you have a lot of riders that wear all the gear all the time, and then you have also a lot of riders that don't wear all the gear all the time. And we won't get into the helmet debate. Let's just say that all these riders are wearing helmets, because where I am, helmets are the law, and I'm a big believer, if anything, you should be wearing a helmet at the very least. But again, I'm not telling you, if you live in a place where you don't wear a helmet and you want to feel free, exercise your freedoms and not wear a helmet. So I wear all the gear all the time. I ride an adventure bike, so I've got adventure gear, but it's got armor, it's got slide protection. My other gear, the other jacket I have, it's a mesh jacket, but it also has armor and a bit of slide protection. It's just not as much as this jacket here. Now my question is, why do some riders wear all the gear all the time, and why do some not? And is it a comfort thing? Is it, in the summertime, is it just because it's so hot that, like, there's more chance of getting heat exhaustion than maybe, getting in an accident? I don't know. Is it that riders wearing all the gear all the time are smarter than riders who don't wear all the gear all the time? Or is it the other way around? Is it riders that don't wear the gear, are they smarter than all the riders because they've saved money and they've never been in a crash or a slide? Now, I know there's an argument regarding, you get into a crash, I've heard people say it, well, I'm going to die anyway. Well, no, that's not always the case. Like, people get in accidents and they don't automatically die in a motorcycle. And some people just ride, collisions that I've seen, is usually the rider's been riding too fast, too dangerous. Someone pulls out in front of them because they can't judge their speed. And I don't want to put the blame all on the riders, because it's not always the rider's fault. Drivers are terrible for seeing us. But, so is it, maybe it's a cost thing. Do some riders not want to wear gear because it's expensive? And it is absolutely true. It is expensive to get gear. That was a big surprise for me when I started riding, without even getting into the price of the gear. Now, let me share my story with you. About a week ago, I was out for a run, and, I tripped. I got my foot caught on the edge of it was stupid, the edge of the sidewalk lifted just maybe half an inch. And I didn't lift my foot up high enough, and I tripped. And I went down really hard. I went down on the palms of my hands. No injury there. There was a slight scrape and pain, but no real injury. I did a tumble, but what I did do is I actually lost, I think it's more than one layer of skin on one of my knees. Now, I know that sounds funny, like, oh, you tripped and you scraped, but I'll tell you, it's a week later, and it still hasn't healed properly, and it's painful. Even now, wearing my riding pants with knee armor is painful, and I've got my leg bandaged up right now because it hurts so bad. And that was just from a trip. That was just from out for a run, and I have this just small road rash patch of skin that's been removed. It doesn't bleed a lot. It's just gone on my knee, and it's very painful. Now, if that can happen with me being on a run, and whatever slow speed I was running at, and I tripped and I went down, can you imagine riding in this wet conditions here on this road, going maybe a little too fast into a corner and sliding and not having the proper gear on and the kind of road rash you would get. If I'm uncomfortable now with my knee the way it is riding, now imagine that in a slide, whether that's your t-shirt, your hands, your legs, whatever, like about it. And of course, I'm in my 50s. Things hurt a bit more. They take a bit longer to heal. I actually worry maybe I have a little bit more damage than just the abrasion on my leg, but it's hard to say. Having said that, I wear all the gear all the time, and I think it's a good thing. So I just want to kind of put that out there. If you don't ride with all the gear all the time, think of that just minor crash, maybe in a parking lot or something, and you rip all that skin off your leg, maybe a couple layers of skin, or all your arms, your hands, because you go down with your hands and you're not wearing gloves. You know, just think of that kind of thing. A lot of people think that they're invincible, and a lot of people think that they're good riders. Not everybody is a good rider. Jerry Seinfeld once said that everybody thinks they're a good driver, but not everybody could possibly be a good driver, because people do silly things and they get into collisions. I just wanted to kind of give my experience on that, and just kind of a little bit of a discussion. What do you wear gear? Why don't you wear gear? Maybe it's hot where you live, maybe it's too expensive, or maybe you feel invincible. Tell me if you feel invincible. I mean, that's okay with that. Let's get this discussion going. Anyway, thank you for watching. Take care. Ride safe.